Welcome to Unmuzzle Chat. Again, well, we'll see if we get this out today. Clearly haven't changed. So, yeah, I'm just a bit ramped up. I was editing, running the software. I was preparing more information, and needless to say, I'm freaking fired up. In fact, with the information I've come across, the dots I've connected, and the picture I see clearly, I'm beyond fired up. I genuinely want to put my boot, you know where, and it's not just pointed towards these freaking evil rulers, but some of my fellow freaking Americans. What is it gonna freaking take to get people to do their due diligence, seek truth for themselves, wake the freak up, ensure they don't lose the freedoms they still got, gain back the freedoms we've already lost, gain back the ground evil has already taken, gain back the ground we've lost at this war with the alphabet mafia, with the invasion of our country, with the infiltration, with the overreaching tyrannical freaking government. I am fed up. We are being taxed to oblivion. We are being threatened by our own government. No. Time for men in this country to grow a pair and stand up. I am seeing too much cowardice around me every freaking single day. People can't afford to be ignorant during a wartime. We just frankly aren't afforded that luxury. And we must wake up. And whatever it takes to wake those around us up, whatever it takes, I don't care at this point if it hurts people's feelings. We are past that. If it hurts your feelings, then get the frick out of the way. We gotta move the needle in the right direction. The time is right freaking now. These are all things I've said before and we've covered on, but as Dan would say, cutesy time is over. It is time for freaking action. Maybe this will resonate more with some folk. I don't know. We got to do what we got to do. But I have some more information to go over here. So let's dive in. Coincidence? No. Some of what this man goes over, we've already covered on this platform. But he brings a lot of it to the light, where it's like, you can see. There's no coincidence behind this. And the rulers didn't allow these mega breakthroughs to benefit we the people. They couldn't have that. It threatened their infrastructure, their power structure, if you will. So with that, give this a listen.
Let's play a game. I'm about to give you a bunch of random situations, and you can tell me how many random coincidences the world is full of. So this is Ari to go. He patented technology on free energy. He was headed to the airport to go meet some investors, but he never made it to his flight because he was found dead in his car. That's random.
No, it isn't.
Von Marinov. He is the leader of the European free energy movement. In 1997, he had a major breakthrough, and as they were working on the prototype, he was found dead. What? Yeah, apparently he fell out of a window. This is Dr. John Mullen.
No accident.
And he's a nuclear physicist that worked for one of the largest military contractors in the world. Apparently, he discovered something really big in the realm of energy, but unfortunately, before he could come out with this information, he died from arsenic poisoning. But don't worry, his girlfriend was the primary suspect. She was actually found dead in her apartment as well. They didn't go after any of the suspects. Case closed. This right here is Dmitry Petronov. He invented a plasma battery that powered his two-story...
I guess there was a better word for that last one. Setup.
House for 14 months. One day he went to go get bread from a bakery and was never seen again. Zachary Warfield was also...
Let me replay that last one since I interrupted.
This right here is Dmitry Petronov. He invented a plasma battery that powered his two-story house for 14 months.
Wow.
One day he went to go get bread from a bakery and was never seen again. Zachary Warfield was also working on a plasma battery. He actually met with Dmitry a couple of times where they would exchange notes. He mysteriously died in a boating accident in Washington, D.C. Eugene Malov was an expert physicist in cold fusion. He claimed to have a working prototype of a free energy device, but the day before he was going to go public, he was beaten to death. That's so random.
Wow.
Rory Johnson invented a cold fusion motor that generated over 500 horsepower. The Department of Energy took a restraining order against his technology so he could never publicize it, and you're never going to guess what happened to him. Everyone who knew him said he was super healthy, had no health issues, but he died mysteriously. Mark Tomian was awarded a patent for a zero-point energy system. After he developed his working prototype, he was found mysteriously dead, and the crazy thing is, his research is missing. What? Or you might recognize this one. This is Stan Thompson. He developed a car that ran off of water. After developing his working prototype, he went to go to lunch with 2 investors so that he could gain money to push this technology out there. He died during lunch. His last words were, "I've been poisoned." Nikola Tesla believed he could make free energy. And all of his research was funded by, guess who? JP Morgan. When he claimed to have figured it out and he wanted additional capital so that he could expand his inventions, JP Morgan shut him down. I'm sure it has nothing to do with the fact that JP Morgan owned General Electric, he owned copper mines, he owned rubber mills. Anyways, the reason why the world has so much inequality, the reason why things are so expensive, it has nothing to do with the fact that we keep inventing technology that can help people, but we suppress it. Anyways, I don't know, what do you guys think? Isn't that crazy? What coincidences? The world is a weird place.
Yeah, it's great and cute. He's got this fun, positive attitude. I'm sure at certain times I could even appreciate that. But as of right now, I mean, that was a well done clip. A very powerful combination. What boils my blood at this point, how I have been cowardice up to this point in my life and have basically just accepted the outcome of every single one of these situations. That I didn't push back. Well, I am now. Unmuzzle Chat is now. And I'm leaving it up to you as to whether you are going to now or not. As you know, one of the very powerful steps you could take if you're like, you know what, this is an unacceptable outcome, because it's you and I that are suffering from all of this, all these breakthroughs. The outcome is all to our detriment. And there's nothing coincidental about this. As you could see, especially if you've been tuned into this channel or podcast for a while, these scientific breakthroughs directly threatened the position of the rulers. They couldn't allow we the people such grave freedoms, free electricity, basically free transportation, battery systems. I mean, I'm too flustered to even recap them at this point. But no, I will not accept these outcomes. And I hope you won't either by sending this far and wide. Let's start a snowball and let's see how big it could get. Maybe we can get it all the way and smash these freaking globalists, this ruling class, right in the freaking face. Knock them off their chair. Because I am downright sick and tired of the secrecy. Let's find the scientific documents of every single one of these gentlemen. Let's get to the bottom of it. Any other outcome is unacceptable. We could ensure that. Truly, we could. Just takes a collaborative effort. Takes a level of unifying. We just got to get this big enough to have the right impact. So I'm trying to do my part right here, right now. Are you going to do yours? If that's not enough fuel for your fire, guys, there's so much information. The floodgates have opened, and it is such a blessing. I mean, right here, this is breaking. The bombshell about to drop. Fox News took money from the Biden administration to push the COVID vaccines. Lots of money. And they're not alone. What are your thoughts on that? Shouldn't all these institutions be held accountable? I mean, without the news stations even ramping it up, how could have the businesses taken the stance they took? Employees wouldn't have complied in mass. So you'd be like, it didn't matter how much federal funding. So it was this whole collaborative effort. And how many people did this lead to their deaths. Once again, it's another situation with the genocide of the pandemic. I'm taking a stance right here, right now, that it's unacceptable without every single institution that pushed this, that took money for it. There must be extreme accountability. Period. The end. Full stop. I mean, this is crazy. This is an article found. Locks News Network, February 7th, 2018 at 12:43 p.m. states Bill Gates, former doctor, says billionaire refused to vaccinate his children. Are we surprised? Are you vaccinating yours? Are you being a good citizen and because your school says they must be fully vaccinated, fully juiced up with their bioweapons? I'm telling you, not a single one of those is good for your children. Not a single one. There are harmful, toxic, carcinogenic things in every single shot. And I'm sick of people taking the stance as though they know. You haven't done your research. If you stand for any one of those, you haven't done your research. You're basically telling me you know more than some of the most educated doctors I even know. And they got multiple degrees and they've looked into it, and they boiled down to every single one, whether it's aluminum or graphene oxide, they all have something horrifically damning in them. And then they look at the actual statistics and the actual stats and real information, and all the children that don't have any of those shots are far healthier than ones that have. We got to do our research. So you've been lied to. Is that not enough? You've been indoctrinated. Is that not enough? For generations, there's just this mass psychosis happening. We got to break free from all of that. Oh, not you? You haven't been psyoped? Maybe you, maybe your neighbor, maybe someone. Well, can you in fact list off every ingredient out of every of the 80 shots now given for the childhood vaccine schedule? You know every single ingredient of every 80 shots. You know the manufacturer it's being done at. You know the delivery methods. You know proper storing's being done. You know all that. Because who in their right mind, just because a doctor said so, or not even that, a school said so, a public system that tax dollar goes to because folks don't want to maybe do private or homeschool, so they just blindly follow. Yeah, I'd call that indoctrinated. I would call that we've been psyoped. We've been socially conditioned to just blindly follow that. No parent knows every single ingredient in all those shots and could answer, oh, this one comes from this place, and this is the chain of custody, and can actually even verify the quality control of like that particular batch as to what is going in their child's arm. It is insanity that we have blindly entrusted in that. Literally insane. We have been insane, and we see all these issues arising, and we're not effectively getting to the bottom as to what could be the cause. My goodness. We must re-freaking wire our brains. I hope more challenge themselves to do so. Truly, that is the only way we're going to get the best version of folks out there. Now, I know a lot of Unmuzzle Chat listeners get it, and I applaud you. But look around. Not enough are in the know. We got to do more. We all got to do more. Wow. Check this out. The government co-owns the vaccines. Would you be surprised? Don't take my word for it. Listen to this.
This is 153 pages of the confidential agreement between Moderna and the U.S. government. And it goes back to 2015. What? Jason, what was happening in 2015?
Frankenstein coronavirus.
That's right. The same time Dr. Barrick and Dr. Shi published their paper on the new Frankenstein coronavirus. In fact, let's skip down to page 104. It shows that the NIH and Moderna were collaborating with Dr. Barrick. Wow. His signature is on page 106 of the material transfer agreement. But let's get back up to the top of the specific agreement. The NIH appears to be transferring the mRNA tech to Dr. Barrick. But look what they want to make clear. Quote, mRNA coronavirus vaccine candidates developed and jointly owned by the NIAID and Moderna.
Wow.
I'm sorry.
Wow.
I mean, I've seen ulterior motives before, but usually you see them coming. Did you know that the government co-owns the vaccine? Oh, by the way, this is not part of the Trump's thing. This is not part of that.
No, it's not.
This is 2015.
Yeah.
The same government that is now mandating its use owns the vaccine.
Think on that. That is corrupt as heck. That boils my blood. 2015. Yeah, that's pre-Trump, folks. Holy smokes. This is just crazy. More stuff you can't make up. 2008, Dr. Fauci, Anthony Fauci, whatever. You freaking doctor, whatever. I'll just say, I guess that's what he's known by. He co-authored a paper about the Spanish flu epidemic. So in this study, Dr. Fauci and his colleagues discovered that most of the victims of the Spanish flu didn't die from the Spanish flu. They died from bacterial pneumonia. And the bacterial pneumonia was caused by, wait for it, wearing freaking masks. You can't make this up. They co-authored this paper. That's the outcome. And then he lies. He doesn't use emails. And then there's an email. And the email states masks don't work. But then yet he causes, like, what a freaking circus. Are you sick of the circus? Is this enough? Obviously, there's more evil, nefarious things to lynch that man over. But the corruption, this just exposes the fallacy, the circus, and why we letting such degenerate, evil, demonic, freaking weirdos in these positions to enriching themselves to our detriment. And we're just sitting back. I'm going to continue because I want to create freaking motivation for us to do something about this. All of it. Surprise. Former Fauci advisor David Morans killed in a murder-suicide. You could look into this. No freaking comment. No comment. Also breaking. Japan has issued a formal apology to the unvaccinated, admitting that the government bowed to pressure from the international elite to employ totalitarian psychological warfare tactics on the public to brainwash citizens during the pandemic. Billions of vaccinated will die. Those responsible must pay. No mercy for those behind mRNA. And the mRNA is still happening with our food here in this country. It's still being administered in some states. Even though in some states we've effectively classified it to an extent as a bioweapon. So for all the COVID idiots that blame Trump, the internet is forever, and you're wrong. Because right here, he was trying to tell us something. He was trying to circumvent that from being the only option. Give this a listen.
And I hope they use the hydroxychloroquine, and they can also do it with Z-Pak, subject to your doctor's approval and all of that. But I hope they use it because I'll tell you what do you have to lose? In some cases, they're in bad shape. What do you have to lose? It's been out there for a long time, and I hope they use it. And they're going to look at with doctors, work with doctors, get what you have to get. But we have it stockpiled, and we have a lot of it. One of the reasons that I keep talking about hydroxychloroquine is that the question that nobody ever asks, and the question that I most hate the answer to, is what happens if you do have a ventilator? What are your chances?
Most die. Little.
I just hope that
little chance to live.
Hydroxychloroquine wins, coupled with perhaps the Z-Pak, as we call it.
Hear that?
Dependent totally on your doctors and the doctors there. Because you know the answer to that question. If you do have the ventilator, you know the answer to that question. And I hate giving the answer.
Your time's short.
So I don't want to get them there. There's a possibility. And I say it. What do you have to lose? I'll say it again. What do you have to lose?
Take the HCQ.
I really think they should take it. But it's their choice. And it's the doctor's choice or the doctors in the hospital. But hydroxychloroquine, try it if you'd like. The other thing, if you have a heart condition, I understand, probably you stay away from the Z-Pak. But that's an antibiotic. It can clean out the lungs. The lungs are a point of attack for this horrible virus. But when you have a ventilator, don't ask the answer because I hate it. If you have it and it's working beautifully,
even for the healthy,
I don't like the answer because it's not a very high percentage. So I want to keep them out of ventilators. I want to keep them, if this drug works, it will be not a game changer because that's not a nice enough term. It will be wonderful. It'll be so beautiful. It'll be a gift from heaven.
Wow.
When it works. Because when people go into those ventilators, you know the answers.
How many
I know
times?
the answers.
He repeated it a lot right there. So looking back, he tried to tell us he gave doctors the opportunity to do what was right. Some did the right thing, not very many. And some got rich real fast by using the murderous protocols. Once again, extreme accountability for all of them. Trusted the news. It's off the screen. I'm sad that people trusted the news. Or something about trusting news. I'm sad that people trusted the medical industry. I'm sad for the good people that got caught up into making bad decisions because they felt they had no other choice. And lastly, I'm sad for the people that lost their jobs because they wanted to make their own health decisions. I'm sad for the ones that have died. Smoking gun, right? This freaking pandemic exposes evil overextended its hand, and now so many don't entrust hopefully all the right things, and they're now sourcing information here on Rumble, X to an extent, True Social, Telegram, Getter. Oh my gosh. Get out of here. More breaking news. I just want this out there so you guys are warned, but I cut out Coca-Cola. You all should cut out Coca-Cola for numerous reasons. They're part of the deep state. They are owned by the rulers. Give up the soda. I know addictions can be hard, but it's to your benefit. Why poison your body? I've given up alcohol, smoking, chewing, soda. If I can do it, you can do it. I promise you that. After a while, you realize, oh, wow, doesn't even take sacrifice. And when you do, you build strength to conquer other things in this life. You forever benefit. Coca-Cola is teaming up with freaking Microsoft. And these people are sick and evil. And they want to reduce the population. Check this out if you drink their products. I pray you give it up.
Coca-Cola just signed a 5-year, $1.1 billion deal with Microsoft. 5 years ago, it was discovered that there were fluorescent nanoparticles in Coca-Cola. Now, if I were a conspiracy theorist, I might think there were more to this partnership.
Now, according to reports, Microsoft and the Coca-Cola Company have announced a 5-year strategic partnership to align Coca-Cola's core technology strategy system-wide. So it is said to enable the adoption of leading-edge technology and foster innovation and productivity globally. Using Azure Open AI service, Coca-Cola is currently exploring the use of generative AI-powered digital assistants. Now, did you know they have found nanotechnology in Coca-Cola and in Pepsi products? Have a look at this.
And in Pepsi products.
Now, the world today has 6.8 billion people. That's headed up to about 9 billion. Now, if we do a really great job on new vaccines, healthcare, reproductive health services, we could lower that by perhaps 10 or 15%.
Yeah, we've heard
it. The biodistribution study in...
Yeah, we've heard it before, Bill. Your lovely plan to genocide us all. You can't make this up, folks.
Major organs indicated that the NPs were easily accumulated in the digestive tract, and they were able to cross the blood-brain barrier and dispersed into the brain.
Perfect.
Questions, and of course suspicions, have been raised in recent years.
Yeah, let all that nanotech build up in your brain. You know what? Maybe it already has. Maybe that's why there's so many people that aren't making any of the connections, have lost all reason and rationality and critical thinking skills, and how they were effectively led to the slaughter like sheep to voluntarily roll up their sleeve and get a bioweapon jab on top of it. Unbelievable. Now, I genuinely don't mean to insult those that got it, because I am not walking in your shoes. Logic would tell me, me walking in your shoes, how would I have made any other different decision? More than likely would have made the same decision because I was walking in your shoes. I experienced what you experienced. I was manipulated in the ways you were manipulated. I didn't come across information like you didn't come across. So you get my point. Now this is firing me up right here. Can you name a single recent movie that wasn't like this? Any recent movie. I'll even add game show, talk show on Netflix. It wasn't like this. The list goes: white man is the villain. Black man is the hero. Gay guy is a voice of reason. Woman has balls. Dad is an idiot. Mom is the breadwinner. Children are sexualized. Netflix is literally become a social engineering project, not entertainment. I'm sick of the white man being vilified, by the way. And it doesn't just have to do with me being white. It's sick that we're even talking colors as humans. That's sick. There's a word for that. Racist. We went from being like this, some would say, melting pot And we did really good. And we're fastly becoming the most racist freaking country, intentionally being done by everything that's coming down from the power structure. But holy freaking smokes. Enough with the vilifying of the white man. You are all freaking beautiful. Doesn't matter. Just makes me sick to see anyone demonized, period. And with the DEI shenanigans, all this goes away. If we tackle the same, because it all stemmed from the same freaking corrupt rulers. So you choose your poison. If you're sick of the racism, the biological warfare, the information warfare, how they're suiciding and disappearing and withholding and suppressing, tyrannically ruling, enough is enough. I'm fed up. I sure hope you are too. And this last bit is really what gets me. Because these freaking rulers, these elites, these demons, that's what it is. They're freaking demonic. Why are we allowing a ruling class of literally demons over us? Are you afraid? Frick these demons. I say we do whatever it freaking takes to clean house and rule them out. You don't think they're demonic or evil? Former FBI chief whistleblower Ted Gunderson. Listen to what he's got to say.
It is estimated 2,500 children are kidnapped and murdered in this country every year.
Unacceptable.
Americans, for the most part, are oblivious to what's really going on behind the scenes. I retired from the FBI in March 1979. At that time, I was in charge of the FBI Los Angeles Division. I had more than 700 personnel under my command.
The fact of the matter is this does date back some. However, the numbers now, the level of infiltration, the level of degeneracy in these institutions and corruption, it is far worse. It is unfreaking imaginable.
And in that particular instance, they were taking children out of foster homes, orphanages, Boys Town. These are 2, 3, and 4-year-old children before they enter kindergarten. In addition, the children claimed that they were flown into the mountains where they were involved with adults in robes, black robes.
There's those satanic rituals. By the way, disclaimer. This might be the call to freaking men. I mean, the fact we got women and children standing up to school boards. Yeah, we men must onboard more responsibility. We used to be built different and handle business like this. This is on a mass scale, and this involved, like, what are we doing? But disclaimer, he uses graphic words. Let's wrap this up.
Chanting, candles. They talked about the brown babies who were cut up, actually sacrificed.
Wow.
And flying them to Washington, D.C. for sex orgies with prominent people, including congressmen, senators, and
Washington, D.C. for sex orgies. Congressmen, senators, and certain people, elites, celebrities. It's all interconnected. We've connected a lot of these dots.
And certain people in the White House.
Certain people in the White House.
And the reason the congressmen and the senators vote for these stupid bills is because many of them have been set up and framed.
Starting to make sense. He's literally former FBI chief whistleblower, Ted. Oh, by the way, he was found dead. Another one. Found dead. Because he's exposing the corruption. But we wonder why they're passing these stupid bills.
Many of them have been set up and framed.
Set up and framed.
Through sex and drugs.
Through sex and drugs. That explains it all. That's why the Epstein list. That's why they're going after the political opponent. We cannot sit by and allow this any longer. What do we got to do? I wish that Unmuzzle Chat already had millions. Couldn't we then really have the impact? Could we then even assemble, form a proper militia? I don't even view that, just like Stu says, as a bad thing. That, in fact, is what we're called to do constitutionally if we end up even with a oppressive government body to our rights and freedoms, and is far beyond that. This sick, evil corruption. What? This fire. Ugh. Yeah. Everyone in America needs to see this. California State Rep. Listen to what he has to say himself.
I just got word that I'm being removed from my committees. Some of you will recall last week I brought a bill to remove sanctuary state protection for pedophiles in the state of California, and the Democrats here did not like that. So they cut off my microphone, and I just got word that the Speaker of the State Assembly, who runs the place, has removed me from my committee. But you know what? That's okay. I wear this as a badge of honor. It means I'm doing the right thing. Right. It means I'm looking out for the people of the state and for children who are being victimized by these illegal immigrants. So bring it on. More to come.
Good for you. Unbelievable. We live in a world where a man starts going about things in the legitimate ways to fight back against pedophilic behavior, freaking pedophiles. And what does the evil, democratic, overran, tyrannical state of California do? Fight against that man. We are to support men like this. That's a solution maker. That's a freaking warrior. That's a hero. That is unacceptable. What they're able to do to him already. Already. Unacceptable. We can't sit idly by and accept that. Even for Arizonians over here in Arizona, we cannot. This is insanity. The gun charges against Hunter Biden are insults. The real crimes are in the laptop. Folks, this was front page news in Australia. Pass it along before the Twitter Nazis take it down, it states. But this article, front page, Biden, child porn shock. Hunter becomes hunted amid claims of underage pics on his laptop. Why is he? It's just a freaking movie. It's just a show. It's like they're trying to distract us with the gun charge so we don't do anything about the real charges. These people are freaking sick. That's what I'm trying to get at. And they will go to any lengths, as we proved with the opening bit of all these individuals and their wonderful work, they themselves being deleted, gone, kaput, killed, and their amazing work taken, stolen, deleted, cleared, kaput. I'm going to continue to fight tooth and nail to expose these things and seek remedy, seek accountability, and no secrecy, and get to the bottom of things. I really need your support in order to become effective. Let's make this go viral. Yeah, that's a wrap for now. I love you guys. Let's continue the momentum. Till next time, God bless.